Sir, I think it's done now.
Yeah, now it is done. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, you can allow all the participants, no problem.
Yeah, I have allowed.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start our today's program, that is one day workshop on research, design, and innovation. Design thinking and innovation will be a part of the JIS IIC. So I would like to request all of you, please sit calm and quiet, because very soon we are going to start our program. So before starting, I would like to invite the galaxy of speakers today here with us. We are having the two speakers. One is Professor Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay, and another is Dr. Durgesh Kumar Mishra. So let me have a brief introduction of Professor Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay. Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay is an assistant professor of BIMS Kolkata. Apart from being Kolkata leading Facebook of a developer cycle, he is a Google developer expert in the machine learning and Intel software innovator. He is visiting a faculty of Symbiosis Center for Information Technology, SCIT Pune. Mukhopadhyay received MS in Physical Science from IISER Kolkata, was a topper of 2015 batch. He is the paper setter, examiner, moderator of MAKAUT, SCIT Pune. He was the co-founder and the chief research officer of Twilight MedTech Private Limited, and currently involved in the startup mentoring activities. He has more than 50 publications, which includes patent books, journal proceedings. He has received several international awards, which includes Best Research Paper Award from the prestigious SPIE, Photonics Education Scholarship 2014, and Mossy Inspiring Facebook Developer Circle Lead, and so on. He has also received several travel grants from SPIE, IISER to present the research work, and in international different conferences. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay. It's over to you, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much, sir, for your generous introduction. It's my pleasure to be here. Now let me share the screen. Kindly let me know once the screen appears in front of you. I guess it is now okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, great. So just one update I want to give, that recently I have joined MAKAUT, the university, as a faculty of business analytics and statistics. So when I have shared the bio, I was associated with BIMS. So my current
Yes.
faculty affiliation is with MAKAUT university itself.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, so without making any delay, let me start the slide. Click on the slideshow. So whenever any problem occurs in our society, we have certain tendencies. For example, chalta hai, chalta rahega. There are very few numbers of the solvers. So the main motto of this particular talk is to give some mental framework that all of us can become a solver, such that we can create some societal impact. So because you see across the globe, there are more than 80% people under the bottom of pyramid category. And India, it is more than 96%. So you can understand, if somebody is suffering from diabetic retinopathy, somebody is suffering from cancer, how miserable will be their life. So can we build some solutions through our innovations to make their life easier? Whatever may be our professions, we can be professors, we can be scientists, we can be related to any other professions, but can we utilize whatever the little thing we know, such that we can create impact on this bottom of pyramid region? Because remember that in India, there are more than 96% people who do not have enough money to pay tax. So it is our societal responsibility to bring the research from the lab to market, such that it can create impact on those bottom of pyramid area. So what should be our mental framework? Because remember that everyone has their intrinsic capability of innovations. Now, First of all, before I begin my talk, I want to say one thing, that we need to understand first of all what is the difference between invention and innovation. Invention is all about bringing completely a new thing which was not existing earlier. But innovation is about modifying in an optimized way whatever the existing thing is there. Okay, so that is the basic difference between innovation and invention we require to know first of all. Then the mental framework I am going to share with you, I believe that it will give you a lot of idea that how you should actually think, what should be your thought process, such that you can actually bring down your innovations in terms of creating impact on the society. So this is the all about what I am sharing with you. Is the first of all, first phase of my talk is about the idea hexagon. If there is X, what is next? Okay. So how to innovate? That will give you some idea on that. Definitely, I will share my PPT with all of you. So I will send the PPT to your HOD sir. So basically all of you can utilize those resources, nothing to worry about it. So if you look this particular diagram, it is all about the idea hexagon. So one by one phase, there are 6 phases of the idea hexagon. You can try out your innovations, your own intrinsic ideas, whatever you have within you, in order to explore your capabilities, your inventions in a summit level. So, for example, whenever we used to share the photos, we can use the Flickr, right? But what next? For example, sharing videos, YouTube, right? So if you see that, what was the valuations of the Flickr? It was sold with a few $1 million, but YouTube has the valuation of the multi-billion dollars. So you can understand that whenever we are going to higher dimensions, the contribution, the value additions are becoming more significant, right? So next, what is X? Given X, what is next? So if we consider that X to the power D, the higher dimensions, that means generalized to another dimension, then what you can see, the flow chart, data, text, audio, images, video, then what next? We all know that the stereo glasses we utilizes for watching the 3D, watching the 3D movies. Then our real world scenario is 4D. So what about it? So can you understand that how we can actually increase our thought process? How can we go to higher dimension? That means this dimensional effect will definitely going to bring out your best of your innovations within you. And definitely the fusion of the dissimilars, for example, X plus Y. What can be the good idea on that? Let me share one of the examples that can give you some thought, give you some the resources of the thought process. For example, in my residential areas like Howrah, Shibpur, and many of you have experience on that whenever your residential areas have the narrower lanes. So what does it happen? For example, if many medical emergency purpose, sometimes ambulance is having difficulty to penetrate those lanes. So what about the using the back side, which is the patient carrier side of the ambulance? If we can attach them with the front engine side of the auto, then what will happen? Then it will become a 3-wheeler and it can easily penetrate in these narrow lanes. So you can understand that whenever we are making the fusions of two different identical things, then it becomes much more impact on the society. That means this is called the fusions of the dissimilar. The more the dissimilar will be the stuffs, the more will be the prominent impact on the innovation or the innovative solutions. Now, this is the option number 3 and 4 are the vice versa actually. That given hammer, find all the nails, and given a nail, find all the hammers. So those who are from the engineering background, we all are aware of the Fourier transform, right? So basically in our study during, if you are from the electronics communication engineering background or electrical engineering background or computer science background, we all know that the convolution theorem, right? So basically what does we do? Whenever we are in a spatial domain, we go to frequency domain through Fourier transform, and if we do the inverse Fourier transform, we come back from the frequency domain to spatial domain, right? So what does it actually signify? So for example, if you are building some solutions with this, for example, smartphone based early stage cancer diagnostic solution or smartphone based diabetic retinopathy solutions, so what does it happen actually? You are basically capturing the information in spatial domain, So what does it happen then? Due to the interference, whenever you are capturing the live data, what we call in vivo data. So basically, due to the interference of the stray light, it actually contaminates your original signal. It is in the convoluted format, right? Whenever the signal and noise in the convoluted format, it becomes very, very difficult to extract them out, extract the noise out from the signal. And it will definitely going to create problem while your prediction accuracy. So what is the simple solution? To make them convert into the frequency domain. So what will happen then? Due to the convolution theorem, your signal and noise becomes multiplicative format. So it becomes now easier for you to remove that noise part from the original signal, right? So that is what the intuition of the science and technology that you require to understand the philosophy first. Because you see, the philosophy come first, then science. There are 5 phases of innovation actually: philosophy, science, technology, production, and then marketing. So basically, so whenever your thought process, you need to know that, like the mention it is given here, that given hammer, find all the nails, and given a nail, find all the hammers. So you are basically overcoming the barriers what you are facing in the spatial domain by going to Fourier domain, frequency domain. And due to going to frequency domain, you are being able to overcome the noise related barriers by simply extracting out the noise which is in the multiplicative format with the original signal. And even if you face sometimes similar kind of problems in the frequency domain, you can do the inverse operation as well to come back in the spatial domain, and you can do some brilliant stuffs there. So these vice versa approaches, Laplace transform, inverse Laplace transform, Fourier transform, inverse Fourier transform, this gives you the opportunity to yourself to try out this option 3 and 4, that given a nail, find all the hammers, or vice versa, right? So now let's see one of the intrinsic, one of the finest applications what we actually observe in our real world scenario. For example, Fourier transform. When you are optimizing it, we are calling it fast Fourier transform. Filtering, adaptive filtering. What does it actually do? We are doing here? Computing, distributed computing. So if you see, these all are the, all are the series of the adjectives are there. So whenever you are like I am telling you that innovation is, innovation is all about you are modifying the existing stuffs, right? In an optimized way. So whenever you are making an optimized solutions or optimal solutions, you are always given to add some adjectives to that. Fourier transform, fast Fourier transform, filtering, adaptive filtering, computing, distributed computing. So in this way, we are always adding some adding some adjectives to it with existing solutions, and you are actually coming up with an optimized outcome through it. So this is another way that you can think about it, that when you have some certain existing thing is there, how can we modify it and then create an impactful solutions. So these are these 5, you have seen these 5 phases of the idea hexagon. Now the final stage you will see, and another brilliant way, that is whenever now you have tried out all the 5 options, but if still you want to do some other things, for example, there are ways that you can actually, this actually gives you some idea that to think about the out of box thinking, we call this. The final phase is called the out of box thinking, that you have tried out all the given options, but nothing is working out. So can we think about the out of box, unconventional thoughts to bring up these solutions? So there are the 6 phases of the idea hexagon, that given X, what is next? You can always think about it. And in parallel to that, there are also, you can also think about your out of box, from beyond of your domain. For example, data science or machine learning. You can see that it's not only restricted to our technology domain, but you can see nowadays it is being extensively used in the management domain as well. So people are doing BBA, MBA programs in the business analytics, for example, and they're exploring in an extensive way the data science in management domain, for example, stock market prediction, credit card fraud detection, and everywhere. So basically, it's now all about the interdisciplinary arena. So you have to you have to be very, very smart enough to think about with your intuitions that what can give you the best solutions in order to create impact on the bottom of pyramid zone. Now, this is the first phase of the talk is all about to give you some mind setup. I mean, to give you some proper framework of your mind that how you can actually think about to bring down the solutions which can create impact on the bottom of pyramid zone. Now, what problem should you solve? Now, next thing is the problem domain identification. That which can have the real world solutions, which can bring real world solution. You may spin up with company as well. You can form a company as well with those ideas by filing patent, by taking copyrights or trademarks. So there are a lot of ways are there. So basically, for example, here I have taken a theme like digital tech in agriculture. Okay, now what we will explore out like resource map. Under the resource map, people and organization, user beneficiaries, risks, breakthroughs are there. Then problem canvas, solution canvas, and finding plots. Okay, so now under the resource map, there are three areas we will figure out: people, organizations, user beneficiaries, breakthroughs, and risks. So in the first case, we are basically taking organizational list. So definitely under the organization, companies, startups, government departments are there. So for example, if you are building AI-based solutions, AI-based smart healthcare solutions with your smartphone. So for example, then your new organizations will be hospitals, clinical centers. Okay, data center and information resources. Data center and information resources. There are two ways actually: primary data collection or secondary data collection. So in generally. To validate your model data to validate your machine learning model or data science model, what we do, we basically use these secondary data resources, like we download data sets from the Kaggle or GitHub. Then we train our model, and then we validate our claims. But remember that if you want to, at least for the healthcare domain, if you want to bring up solutions for the mass level, like I'm mentioning, you are innovating for the billions of lives, then you have to tie up with the hospitals, because in healthcare domain, collecting data is a very, very challenging factor. And why I'm highlighting that, because it's the most critical thing to do, because you have to convince doctors with your ideas, and that whatever the technology you are bringing, it should be non-invasive to human body. You have to go collect the primary data here, because secondary data will not work in healthcare domain if you want to bring down something for the market mass level, because at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, it's all about bringing the solutions for the mass level. Okay, so your possible partners can be hospitals. Okay, you can actually revenue share the revenue. You can actually generate the revenue sharing model with the doctors or the hospitals in 50-50 percentage. It depends. Obviously, you can actually people VCs becomes the quite influential. You can start your company with your innovation, research-based innovations. Government has a lot of opportunities of the grants. Okay, and then once your prototype gets success, you can actually scale up your innovations, research innovations for creating the product development by taking the help from the VCs or the venture capitalists who actually fund in Indian currency. 5 crore to 10 crore funding is there. I mean, from whenever you go to next phase, but initial phase seed funding, in generally through the grant or through any incubation center in Indian currency, it is 25 lakh to 50 lakh. And definitely known published challenges are there to provoke your innovations. For example, UN, United Nations, Bill Gates Foundations, National Science Foundations, and obviously in our India, DBT, DST has their open challenges. You can always resolve those problems and can utilize the government grants from there as well. Now, user beneficiaries. So this is one of the most important factor that if you want to bring down your research out of your lab towards the market, then what can be who can be the possible users, who can be the possible partners. So basically, you require to identify that at the end of the day, whatever the research, through your research, whatever the products you are bringing in the market, you are planning to bring in the market, that who can be the potential users. So for example, if we consider in the healthcare domain, then it is quite easier for you by using our common sense, that patients, doctor, nurses, hospitals, clinical center, medical centers, they can be the potential users of those products. Influencer sometimes the big shots on this domain becomes the potential influencer. For example, some multi-billionaire doctors they can also they can also take personal interest, and they can also give you some generous money by taking some stake from your company to give you some opportunity to explore out with your innovations. And United States, often we see that this kind of stuffs, because doctors are I mean, those who are the big shots in medical domain, they are basically multi-billionaires. There buyers and sponsors, definitely already we have discussed so far. Partners, if you are taking help from the government agencies, different government platforms, so they can become potential partners of you. Definitely there are several hospitals are there to scale you up. Okay, and definitely speak with experts. It depends upon the what phases are you involved. If you are deploying the technology large scale, there are different technological aspects. If you are going by the morphological study, so then what will happen? You have to go take help of the data scientist. If you are doing the biochemical study, people from the biochemistry background can help you to identifying the foreign particle, presence of the foreign particle in your tissue in order to get the early stage diagnostic purpose. Now the breakthroughs, benefits and risk factors, because at the end of the day, if your production gets this success, then it's fine. But if your innovation fails, then what will happen? So those factors you need to identify. Now the parallel take. So this is an era of the parallel take. You need to remember that at the end of the day, we are all are running with the data-driven approaches. So basically, what we are doing, we are utilizing the cloud resources. We are deploying the analytics in the cloud, and then what is happening, whatever the, for example, whether you are doing the crop prediction in agriculture domain, or whether you are making the early stage disease diagnostics. So what is happening there through the cloud, the analytical predictions is coming up your smartphone, and you are utilizing your smartphone based applications to check out that whether this is normal or abnormal, this kind of stuffs. But what is happening nowadays, nowadays you can see that if you have seen the products of this type of products, you can see there are two types of solutions. One is a cloud-based solution, and there is an on-premise based solution. So on-premise solutions, what is happening due to the blessings of the edge computing? So this type of on-premise solutions you can get. So because you remember that Google has also launched the TensorFlow Lite in order to explore out the edge computing kind of stuff, so where you are using the for example, if you have heard about the methodologies like convolutional neural network, which is a very, very strong tool in deep learning. So basically, for your smartphone based, utilizing the smartphone based resources in order to incorporate the edge computing, you can utilize the depthwise CNN, which actually reduces there are certain tricks are there to reduce the time complexity such that it can support you the low processor devices, because it is not very easy to deploy those computational expensive techniques in your smartphone. So there are two types of the solutions. Parallel takes are going on. Either you can come up with the cloud-based solutions, you can provide the on-premises solutions to the devices by utilizing the resources of the uh, edge computing. So many things are there. But at the end of the day, you require to understand that definitely if you get the breakthrough, then everything is beneficial. But if what can be the barrier in your market? It can be rule regulation based barrier can happen. Now you all know that even if you come up with this excellent idea with the drone based solutions, you know there are certain rules regulations in India to deploy drone based applications in a large scale. So these are the frictions, these are the barriers to make your innovations in a large scale, deploy your innovations in a large scale, because you need to understand those type of stuffs. Government regulations and rules you need to go through, because country wise it varies, it may varies, as well as state wise also. So those factors we have to keep it in our mind. And definitely financial risk factors are there also. If you are completely relying on certain grants, completely relying on certain funding, it may happen that your funding is not adequate enough to build your prototype. So you may not be able to develop whatever even if you have the 100% potential within you or within your team. Due to the funding crunch, it may happen that your project may not be completed within given period of time. So financial risk factors are there. Definitely execution risks, limiting factors, like whenever you are forming your team. So initial level, what happens, like in every talk I mentioned, that the all the top organizations across the globe, they are working on a skill matrix matching basis. Now what is skill matrix matching? This is a very, very important terminology. Whether you go to MIT, Harvard, Stanford, or whether you are working in a top companies like Amazon, Google, so basically you will come to see that the people for example, I may be good in Android app development. Somebody is maybe very good in data science domain. Somebody may be very good in marketing domain. So if these three people can come together in the same group, so whatever the challenge you may give to them, they will be able to address if they may not get 100% success every time, but they may be able to resolve it out on a certain extent. Because nowadays we are none of us the Aristotle, because science and technology has this so much of expansions. This is an era of the specializations. So during the era of the specialization, it is always better. What is your dominant skill? If you go by the dominant skill, you may have the multiple skills set up within you. You may know IoT and AI both very well, but one regarding your job role, for example, if you are in industry, either you will be hired as a data scientist or data engineer, or you may be hired as the IoT architect. So that one of those things will be your dominant role. So if you can skill wise, like I am saying, the skill matrix match, if you can make your team on those matching basis, so skill wise diversity will be in your team. So you will be getting success, chances of getting success on certain on creating impactful solution will automatically increase. So in that case, it will then you will not have to rely on the outsourcing. Within your team, you will be self-sufficient, and that will reduce your chances of failure during the execution time. So it reduces the execution risk. So if you look at the problem canvas given there are techniques and problems, for example. Now this is, remember that I was dealing with the themes in the deploying the digital tech in agriculture. Now you see sensors, you know that the sensors are the good resources of the extracting the data. You are deploying AI for the prediction purpose. Your crowdsourcing is a very good way, at least in the agriculture domain, to build your data sets. And definitely the problems you are experiencing: greenhouses, crop predictions, farmer finances, weather stations. So these are the problem domains. Now, if we can map this particular problem to a healthcare domain, then what will be your problem canvas? If you do the brainstorming, that techniques will remain same. Sensor AI, you can go by crowdsourcing and any other technique. But the problems, what will be the problems? Like, for example, I am giving you much more hints now. For example, if you are building AI-based early stage cancer diagnostic platform, then what will be the problems will be associated with it? In generally, the market gold standard, we know that biopsy has the accuracy level of 65 to 70%. So not much higher, not much good accuracy, you may say. So the accuracy level is one of the factors. Second thing becomes it takes 2 weeks time to come up with the report. So the time span also becomes vital criteria, and obviously quite expensive. Like I am telling you that where we are in India, we have the more than 96% people under bottom of pyramid category. And if you see the global scenario, there is 80% people under the bottom of pyramid category. So it becomes the expensive treatment becomes one of the barrier. Okay, so now we have to see that how through the technology, by deploying technology in a smart way, that what can be the wonder we can do in the solution canvas. If you look at there, now you see this is the same thing. If cost, time, impact is given there. Whenever you are getting some grant, or you are working with some incubation centers, or you are getting some project academically, you are deploying it. So basically always there are some time frames are given to you with the provided funding. So it can be of 6 months period of time, it can be 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, whatever may be the time span. So utilization of the cost structure with the time and corresponding impact becomes very, very important. Now the scenarios, like here it is mentioned, keeping the digital tech in agriculture domain mind, like greenhouses, sensor combination, greenhouses, AI combination, in this way. Now going back to our earlier problems we are discussing in the healthcare domain, then what will be the possible scenarios? So possible scenarios in the solution canvas can be the low cost affordable. If you think about the low cost affordable healthcare zone, so getting higher accuracy through AI, 90 to 95% accuracy if you can achieve. So that means generating higher accuracy. Okay, providing low cost solutions, because if you you can utilize your resources to the medical center software as a service, if you charge even per scan for the 10 to 100 rupees, still it will be 1,000 times cheaper than the biopsy. So you are providing the low cost solutions, and you are generating reports, medical reports, within 2 minutes. So you can understand that there are huge potential in the solution canvas domain, that you can actually which can actually create huge impact in the society, right? So now finding plots. Now this becomes very, very important if you look at the particular slide. That, like I am telling you right from the beginning, that philosophy, clear mind setup. I mean, whatever the project you are doing right from the beginning, if it is clear in front of you, you can actually scale that up in a large extent. Because before you utilize scientific resources, before you utilize technological resources, and before you develop product, you have to understand the philosophy first, that what you actually want to do, what are the team strength within you, what are the given time frame to you within the provided budget. Now, if you look at this particular framework, you can understand that within a given budget, within a given timeline, okay, how you can come up and with an optimized solutions, optimized impactful solutions for the society, right? So these are the milestones. If you follow in this way, this type of the milestones, you can achieve map of users, resource requirement, dependencies. Those factors you can actually resolve it out. So this is very, very important slide. Although I will share the slides to all of you, but please look at these 9 questions very, very carefully. That help me a question. So all of you have like we worship Einstein in science domain. In technology domain, Helmer is one of the most significant contributors, significant innovator, who has the most number of the patents. So basically, one of his solutions we all are familiar with, like liquid crystal display (LCD), is one of his prominent solutions. So basically, if you look those 9 questions, okay, if you look at them, that how that if you can answer those questions by yourself whenever you are coming up with some innovative solutions, you can say that, okay, I have my picture is clear to you, or you can within your team discuss among yourselves that now your mental barrier. Okay, so whenever you are coming up with some out of box things, or you want to do some certain innovative stuffs within you, you have always some mental barrier that what will happen and how can I get this success. Okay, so this type of the thing will be quite completely wiped out. Okay, so these 9 questions become very, very important. So if you, for example, who cares? That means if we look at the question number 4, that means who will be the beneficiaries? If you were successful, what difference will it make? That means it is telling about what kind of impact you are going to create. What are the risks and pays off? Like we already have covered those things in our earlier slides, that you may have taking care of the risk factors. That if your project fails, then what will happen? Okay, how much will it cost? How long will it take? Or what are the midterms and final exams to check for the success? Like if you are coming up with any kind of app-based solutions, software solutions, then alpha testing phase, beta testing phase will be there. In case of the healthcare domain, those testing phase will be reviewed by the medical boards, and if they gives you the clearance, then you can launch the product in the market. So these are the ways. If you can address out these 9 questions, I can assure you that you will be clear from your mind that you are on the right track. So these 9 questions are very, very important in terms of the getting success on those innovative solutions aspect. Now, lean canvas, if you look that the problem, solutions, unique value proposition, unfair advantage, customer segments, cost structure, revenue streams. So this lean canvas is very, very important. It will give you a brief idea that how you can deploy your solutions in a large extent. Now, unique value proposition we will discuss in few slides later. I will show you that how to represent the unique value solutions with a product. Now, this is the smartphone based. Now, whatever the idea I have given to you, that I personally have experiences and followed those paths, because during the formation of my own startup, through the lab-based outcome, when I bring those lab-based solutions in the market. So basically, we have provided 2 solutions. One is the early stage oral cancer detection. Another one is the early stage diabetic retinopathy detection through the smartphone-based app solutions. So basically, the impact on the bottom of pyramid level you can actually create. For example, I am sharing my own slides, one finding with you. such that you can have the idea that what type of the impact actually you can create, what are the opportunity, what are the scalability are there. So basically, pain-free early stage cancer diagnostic solutions with low cost portable devices, generating reports within a few minutes where biopsy takes several weeks of time, automatic solutions and highly efficient. And now unique selling propositions zone, you can look after, like I was telling you, that this is a very, very important thing. So those who are planning to incubate yourselves in your university incubation centers, or those who have the plan, those who are planning to bring down your lab research to in the market. So this becomes very, very important. Unique selling propositions, like you can follow this one as your reference. Like replacing painful cost-effective biopsy 100 times cheaper than biopsy with accuracy rate greater than 95%. Portable lightweight solutions, still it is 80 times faster than biopsy. Now business models like B2B product for ophthalmologist, pathologist, if you are giving it. So even if you charge 100 rupees per scan, still it will be thousands times cheaper than the biopsy. You can sell the device at a time to hospital as well. Now growth strategies, at least in the healthcare domain, if you look after that you have to continuously collect, you have to continue the continuous collection of the data sets. So ongoing medical trials in the hospitals will be required. Okay, you can share with the doctors in the under the revenue model of 50-50 or whatever, maybe as per your terms and protocols with them. So anyway, now if you look at the competitive landscape, this becomes very, very important, that nowadays this is the industry standard. This type of the protocols are being followed, this type of features are being followed, like low cost, accuracy, smart device, data driven, cloud based approach. If you see, we are covering all those aspects, all those features in comparison to our competitors. So this becomes very, very important. Okay, so highlighting the competitive landscape, that how you are providing the optimum solutions in comparison to your competitors. So these are the few of our research success actually due to bringing up the solutions from the research solutions from the lab to market. So basically our Genius Research TV, we are the first group across the globe to explore out the AI-based solutions in case of the eye disease diagnostic purpose for the diabetic retinopathy and diabetic macular edema detection purpose. So these are the few appreciations we got. Then these are the newspaper appreciations in the Hindu Business Standard, and our cancer-based solutions also get covered featured in the Hindu Business Standard, Indian Express, and our cancer research also has been included in the syllabus of the IIEST UPSC exam, Indian most top competitive exam. And we are the first runner-up in 2017 in MIT NASA hackathon in Boston. So basically, and we also get the honorary mention in the Embassy of India to Switzerland, the Holy See Liechtenstein. So basically, so that's the these are my social media handle. So you can actually connect me with in any of those platforms. So the main motto is all about that we all have some of our intrinsic capabilities, intrinsic innovative stuffs within us. So if we can identify them and if we can deploy them in a large extent, that can be beneficial for our society. So this is one of the humble effort from my side to give you some idea that how you can actually nurture your thought process. If your mental framework is properly aligned, then actually we can come up with, we can create definitely some great impactful solutions for our societal aspect, for sure. So before I wrap up my talk, I just want to ask you one funny question. This is nothing related to our science, technology. This is nothing to do with science and technology. After this is just a lighter note, or you can call it as just for fun, actually. What is the difference between a film director and a computer vision scientist? So if anyone from the audience want to try it out, this is just for fun. What is the difference between a film director and a computer vision scientist? If anyone want to try it out, please.
Yeah, you are having the chat room. You can write it over there also. Please write it in the chat box. Sir is there waiting for us. Okay, waiting for your answer. So take your time and give the answer in the chat box.
Okay, so let me tell you, this is just for fun, very lighter note. This is a question on a lighter note. So basically, the the film director says light, camera, action, right? A computer vision scientist says light, camera, pixel. Okay, so uh, so anyway, so let us take a step ahead. Let us come together and make a promise that we will make the science and technology for the blessings of our society, because it's an open source era since the 1990s onwards. It's the blessings uh, of the Linux community foundations. They have come up with such a useful software tools like R is available there. You can nowadays you can see Python. There are extensive use of Pythonic frameworks are available. Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch. Everything is nowadays in open source, and the developers can contribute in a large extent in scientific projects. So please, all of you, please utilize those resources and let us make our society much more better with those scientific innovations and steps. So that's all my urge to all of you. Okay, so if you have any kind of queries, please feel free to ask me. If I know, I will definitely answer it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the forum is open to you all for the question and answer session. You can write your question in the chat box, even in the Facebook Live. So we are having the Facebook Live, around 22K members that are engaged in the Facebook Live, and we are in the Zoom also. So whatever the questions, please write it down in the chat box or in the Facebook Live so that I can communicate that particular question to Dr. Sobhachat. Thank you. Dr. Shobhasachi, you can take your questions from the chat box also. Thank you.
I can't see any question actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, any questions from your side, please write it down in the chat box. Any questions from this particular session, you can write it down.
Thank you, Kamalika Dotto. Thanks for your kind appreciations. Okay, so is publication very important for funding? Well, look, it depends. For example, if you are writing for any academic grant, definitely funding matters. I mean, publication matters. In generally, they ask for your last 5 years publications on that domain. But if you want to start your own company, there, if you want to, if you have some prototype already, you have built some prototype already, so you can actually take help from your incubation centers. There are a lot of government grants are available, which can definitely will become much more helpful for you to establish your companies or startups, whatever you want to explore out. But academically, if you look in generally, if you look the AICT side or DST side, in general, they ask for your 5 years publications on that domain. Okay, SCI journals will be quite helpful for you to get the proper funding.
I think we are having one more question from the Dr. Selva Kumar J.
Yeah, I have already answered to him.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Let me see the Facebook engagement. If there will be any question from the Facebook Live, I'll let you know. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, any other queries from your side, please let me know. Okay, I think we will take the questions afterwards. If we are having any particular question, definitely I'll means come across to you and I'll
Sure.
drop a mail to you.
Sure.
That,
Kindly, please
you
let me
can,
know.
yeah, you can get in touch with
Okay.
them directly, or having any particular means queries from the Facebook Live also, because this
Sure.
is the live on the Facebook. So it's a time for felicitation. Just wait for a while, ladies and
Thank you
gentlemen.
so much. Thanks for giving me the opportunity
It's
to speak in front of you. Thank you very much, and thank you all for your kind attention to my talk. Thank you very much.
So this is a very small token of love, appreciation to you from JIS University on behalf of the JIS group, as well as to all the faculty fraternities from the JIS CSE department and the BCA department. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us for a long time. Thank you for giving your presence. And it's really a wonderful talk and really a wonderful session from you. I hope in future we'll definitely get in touch with you
Sure,
with
sir.
many other
It will be my
events.
pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, many other events and activities. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Professor Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay, the Assistant Professor of BIMS Kolkata, as well as the Research Officer of Twilight Meditech Private Limited, and many innovative and startup mentoring activities which he is dealing with. So, with this, we are coming to an end of the first session. Ladies and gentlemen, we will again come back at sharp at 12:05 or 12:10. Okay, 12:05 will be good enough for you all. So I'll request you to come on this Facebook part, Facebook Live, as well as in Zoom, sharp at 12:05. So with this, we are coming to an end of the first session of Professor Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay, and I hope the next session definitely will enjoy a lot. It's over to Dr. Dey.
So thank you very much, Sabyasachi. So it was a nice presentation, and I think many of the people will get benefited from this. And our next speaker is Durgesh Mishra sir from MP. So after 15-20 minutes, we will again gather into this room, because Durgesh sir having currently a one ongoing talk. So once he complete this, and after that he will join. So mostly by 12:05 or 12:10, we will again start. So for that time, we will go for the certificate distribution also. So I mean, with us for another 15-20 minutes. Keep patience. Thank you.
We are keeping our session live, but we are all muted in this particular session. I'm not closing that particular session to you all. So just wait for a while for the second up, till the second up, because in the second up, we will distribute all the certificates. We'll give you the link where from you can fill up the feedback, as well as you will get the certificate in your mail address. Thank you so much for keeping your patience. Just wait for a while. We are not closing the session. Thank you.
निज पौ निज वैर अकाल मूरत अजुनि सैभं गुरु प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसे भी सच।
We know that as we grow, the hurdles will be more. Each time we are washed away, we bounce back to the shore. We know we lead the way, keeping odds at bay. See the sunrise tomorrow, inspire the world to follow. हम सीधे जहाँ JIS हम है गुरुकुल हमारा. We have wings to touch the sky. We have what it takes to fly. At JIS the truth begins. ये है गुरुकुल हमारा. We have wings to touch the sky. We have what it takes to fly. shining bright, even in the darkest night. Igniting minds, empowering lives, within us tomorrow thrives. We have what it takes to win and achieve what we dream. We can calm a stormy sea, our courage echoes eternally.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरपौ निरवैर अकाल मूरत अजुनी सैभं गुरु प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसे भी सच।
We know that as we grow, the hurdles will be more. Each time we are washed away, we bounce back to the shore. We know we lead the way, keeping odds at bay. See the sunrise tomorrow, inspire the world to follow. हम सीधे जहाँ JIS ये है गुरुकुल हमारा. We have wings to touch the sky. We have what it takes to fly. At JIS the truth begins. ये है गुरुकुल हमारा. We have wings to touch the sky. We have what it takes to fly. At JIS the truth begins. ये है गुरुकुल हमारा. We are the ones shining bright, even in the darkest night. Igniting minds, empowering lives, within us tomorrow thrives. We have what it takes to win and achieve what we dream. We can calm a stormy sea, our courage echoes eternally. आवाज़ खुली आसमां, हम सीधे जहाँ JIS है गुरुकुल हमारा. We have wings to touch the sky. We have what it takes to fly. At JIS the truth begins. ये है गुरुकुल हमारा. We have wings to touch the sky. We have what it takes to
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरपौ निरवैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुरु प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसे भी सच।
We know that as we grow, the hurdles will be more. Each time we are washed away, we bounce back to the shore. We know we lead the way, keeping odds at bay. To see the sunrise tomorrow, inspire the world to follow. हम सीधे जहाँ JIS है गुरुकुल हमारा. We have wings to touch the sky. We have what it takes to fly. At JIS, the truth begins.
মোডে রাখলাম। Ladies and gentlemen, just wait for a while. Within a few minutes of time, our next speaker, Professor Durgesh Kumar Mishra, will joining with us. Till then, please wait here. Do not leave, because in the second session, we are going to distribute the feedback form as well as the certificates. So I'll request all the participants, please wait here. We are having in the Facebook Live also. So there you will get the complete video of this particular session. You can like, comment, and share. Thank you so much for keeping your patience. Am I audible to all? Hello, am I audible? Just write down in the chat box why. Just write down in the chat box why. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep your patience. Very soon, Durgesh sir will join us. Just wait for a while, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
पुरख निरपौ निरवैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुरु प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसे भी सच।
We know that as we grow, the hurdles will be more. Each time we are washed away, we bounce back to the shore. We know we lead the way, keeping odds at bay. To see the sunrise tomorrow, inspire the world to follow. हम shining bright, even in the darkest night. Igniting minds, empowering lives, within us tomorrow thrives. We have what it takes to win and achieve what we dream. We can calm a stormy sea, our courage echoes eternally.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरपौ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजुनी सैभं गुरु प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसे भी सच।
We know that as we grow, the hurdles will be more. Each time we are washed away, we bounce back to the shore. We know we lead the way, keeping odds at bay. See the sunrise tomorrow, inspire the world to follow.
Department of CAC and PCA was established in the year 2016 and 2019 respectively, and since then it has shown a potential growth at JIS University, Kolkata. Since its inception, the department has been recognized all over the world for excellence in research and teaching. Department of CAC offers B.Tech, BCA and PhD courses. Now, the department is well equipped with a computer room along with internet facility, departmental library and separate labs for supercomputing and PhD students, along with the advanced labs and instruments which includes computer graphics, AI, networking, basic computing. The department also offers several attractive international exposures in terms of student exchange program, industrial internship, minor project, major project for UG and PhD programs. Department is nurtured by its clubs, committee and research groups. These clubs offers the students the chance to gain experience in their interest areas and network with their peers. Each research group holds regular meetings and holds seminars to discuss current research topics and results. High-performance computing facility, cloud computing facility with Param Shawat supercomputer by CDSE, collaboration with Nation Cybersecurity Standard, plagiarism detection software, enriched innovators club, Coders Club, Institute Innovation Council by MHRD AICTE. Currently, 5 PhD students are working in different research areas like biomedical imaging, cloud computing, HCI, etc. Placement success rate for B.Tech students till date is 90%. Through the focused industry-academia interaction, the school aims to move towards a learning and creative community of practice for academic and research excellence, focusing on a long-term relationship, building a collaborative and consultative network of experts from academia. R&D and industry in India, research and industry application-oriented courses are being taught. Excellent research as well as teaching infrastructure is available. Undergraduate and postgraduate students are encouraged to publish their findings in international and national journals. Industry-certified courses are offered for students on a flexi mode and flexi time basis in order to provide them tailor-made and need-based learning opportunities. Online test module for students, attractive scholarship schemes for extraordinary students. Department of CAC and PCA was established in the year 2016 and 2019 respectively, and since then it has shown a potential growth at JIS University, Kolkata. Since its inception, the department has been recognized all over the world for excellence in research and teaching. Department of CAC offers B.Tech, BCA and PhD courses. Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for keeping your patience. Right now, we are having with us our most eminent second speaker, Professor Durgesh Mishra. So, on behalf of the JIS University, sir, I welcome you. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science and on behalf of JIS Group also, I'm welcoming you. Ladies and gentlemen, our second speaker, Professor Durgesh Mishra. So let me have a brief introduction of Dr. Durgesh Kumar Mishra. Durgesh Kumar Mishra is a professor of the CAC and the director of Microsoft Innovation Center, Sri Aurobindo Institute of Technology, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. And Durgesh Mishra have received M.Tech degree from Computer Science and Engineering from DAVB Indore in the year 1994 and PhD degree in Computer Science and Engineering in 2008. Presently, he has been working as a professor and director of Microsoft Innovation Center, Sri Aurobindo Institute of Technology, Indore, MP. He is also visiting faculty of IIT Indore, MP, and he was 24 years of teaching experience, with whom 10 years of the research experience. He has completed his PhD under the guidance of late Dr. M. Chadwani of the Secured Multiparity Computation for Preserving Privacy. He has published more than 90 papers in the referral international and national journals and conferences, including IEEE ACM conferences. He has organized many such conferences like WOCON, CONSEG, CSI Big in the capacity of the conference of general chair, editor of the conference proceeding. He has publications are listed in DBLP, CiteSeerX, Elsevier, and Scopus. He is a senior member of IEEE and many positions like Chairman IEEE MP section from 2011 to 2012 and the Chairman of IEEE Computer Society of India Bombay chapter from 2009 to 2010. In CSI, the Chairman CSI Division 4 Communication at the national level 2014 to 2016. He has visited and delivered his invited talk in Taiwan, Bangladesh, Singapore, Nepal, USA, UK, and France. He has authored a book, Database Management Systems. He has been a consultant to sell tax of the Labor Department of the Government of Madhya Pradesh, India. He has been awarded with the Peer Presenter and Award at international level by CSI, and he visited MIT Boston in presenting his presentation on security privacy. He has also chaired in the panel of Digital Monzukari at Norbert Wiener 21st Century at Boston. He has become the member of Bureau of Indian Standards, Government of India, and for the information security domain. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board Professor Gesh Kumar Misra. Sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sakti, and thank you, Dr. Nilanjan Day, for inviting me to share my views and the research and the research philosophy and the case study of secure multi-party computations. I am thank you to all the organizers and all the CSI members, those who are involved in this forum, and because this I was a little bit 10 minutes late because I was in another session and I just finished that session, and then sorry for the wait for the participants, and sorry to Nilanjan for this 10 minutes and other things, right? So thank you, and I'll come to my point, and thank you for this JIS University that invited me in their virtual room to deliver this talk. I think Nilanjan Day is sitting in the auditorium itself. Okay, so I'm also feeling that I am in the dais of the auditorium and I'm speaking something because I am seeing the view of this, and entire auditorium is taken by only Nilanjan Day. Okay, he booked all the tickets. Okay, right, right. So that I'll start now my session. Right, research and innovation. If you talk about the research and innovation, and then what's the philosophy? Basically, this talk I have delivered in the Odisha, and then they requested me to deliver the same talk here. And I'm going to share my own experience here during my research and how to do that, and what is the research, what type of conditions we are going to face in the research. The most of the, I think so, around how many participants are there? Around 81 participants are there. 81 participants are there, and all they are the faculty members. Either they have done their PhD, so that they can argue with me for that whether I'm right or wrong. And some of them are maybe possible going to enter to do the research. You know, my dear friends, PhD is not the research. PhD is the byproduct of the research. You start doing research today, forget about the PhD, and PhD automatically comes as a byproduct. On that thought, I have designed this talk on that. So that first of all, what is our thinking and what you think about the research. And anybody, if the faculty members there, you are having a good brain of student there in your campus, in your class. So what you are thinking about that, which type of students are good and which type of students are bad for the research, that is a very challenging for us to identify, right? So we have to prepare psychologically, we have to prepare whether we are able to do the research or not, on which type of research we can do. First question I'll ask, is being a top student enough to do the research? You have to think about that. We have in the class, we have the merit list. Basically what we are thinking about that in the class, the top 10 students, top 5 students, these are the top 10 students. They are very intelligent. They can do that because they are scoring the high marks in the class. Out of 100, they are having 90, 95 of percentile, so that they are good in the they are good to do the research. But you know, the research mind and research innovation mind is a very different mind. We cannot compare the research mind with the regular class mind. So that is being a top student is enough. If you ask the question, then answer should be what? That is neither necessary or not sufficient. Neither necessary or not sufficient that the high scoring students will be this. I think you are also agree. Some of you are having already the doctorate, and then you have a lot of experience, and I am speaking in front of you. Then if you are having any doubt, then if you are having any other views, you can share with me so that I can incorporate in my next talk. That so is being a top student is enough. So neither necessary or not sufficient. This is my view. So that we have to focus. This is the V type of lookup is there. This is what the higher side of students are there in this block. And if you see in this block, it's a lower side of student, but this is the average side of students. We have to focus this in the average side. We require the top students. We require some lower side of students, those who are not good in the academics, but they are having a good research mindset. They are having a thinking, but they are not able to write. They are not able to write. We have to get those students, and maybe that those students will get the good result in the research. They are having business mind also. Maybe possible they are having business mind, but they are not good in the mathematics. They are not good in the other things. They are not good in the logics, but they are having a good idea on that. Because for the research and the innovations, we require the good idea, and good idea, how to implement that good idea. We have to do this step by step. We will discuss how to do that, and what you are feeling during the research, and what the faculties are starting the research. I asked to the Nilanjan Day, please publish my paper in your journal, and if I have published that papers, so that I'll feel like that, okay, I have published the papers, but I don't think that should not open the collar and all these things, because you are specialized in your domain, but others are also having the specialize on their. I don't know. I'm not having a complete specialization in my security and privacy. I'm working on the narrow field, right? So that I cannot be the intelligent, so intelligent. I'm working on this particular narrow field. Maybe possible that some other persons are working on that same domain in the security privacy in the different angle. Okay, so the students neither necessary or not sufficient that the top students we have to take. We have to take all type of students in your group. Okay, if you know, if you are you have all these things, then do you know your intellectual and mental limit? We have to identify, you have to psychological enough yourself. You have to check your intellectual and mental limit. At what level you can do, at what level, if what are the drawbacks, what are the weak points are there. We have to identify. If you know your weak points, definitely you can overcome that in the period of time, and you can solve that. You can do some exercise, you can do some practice on that, and you can overcome with your weak points. Do you know your intellectual and mental limit? If no, then ready to failure. Otherwise, if you know your intellectual and mental limit for doing the research, and that, so that we can go in the next step. Okay, if all of these things are there, then if you are extremely motivated to do the research. Now I know that I am having my intellectual and mental limit. I know my limit, what level of depth I know, and right, I have a very good group of the students. And then are you extremely motivated? Then you have to, all you need is passion. You have to convert it into your passion. You know, if you convert it into the passion, you know, you can success in your research. You can success in your innovation and all this thing. If you are not having the patience, you know, in the education policy, in the new education policy is created by the Modi government, that depending upon the interest of the students, they can get the degree. Right, in the first year, now most of the universities, there is no computer science, there is no electrical, there is no electronics and all this thing. In the engineering, they will get the admission directly in the first year of engineering, no branch. After that, every examinations, they will classify the students, and then classify on the basis of the interest, on the basis of the passion. They can classify, so that definitely this new education policy will enhance our research domain in India, and will be in the world leader on that. So that the student on the depending upon their passion and depending upon interest, they will take the degree. So my dear faculty members, all the faculty members, research is not a job. You are doing a job of the faculty, but research is not a job, and it's more like a hobby. If you are having the passions, it will become the hobby. So that you have to create, you have to be passionate and create a hobby for that. So on the basis of that hobby, if you are converted to the hobby, definitely you will be the success in the research. So this is what very important line is, not a job. It's not a job like 10 to 5. when you are in your home, when you are in the bedroom, when you are driving and all these things, your mind always start thinking. Okay. If you are having the passions, you can think. If you are having a passion of to any sports and all these things, always you are thinking about that, or the cricket score is there. If you are having the cricket score passion, then you can thinking about that. If you are having the passion of this your research, and it will convert into the hobby, definitely every time you will think about that. In every event, in every problem, you can relate with your problems, you can get a problem and then solve it, right? So that these are the three main important points. And then students are very good to support in the research. They are having a very good mindset, they are having a free mind, they are open. This is on free mind. It is you have to feel it, right? So, and this is the 3 points. This more psychologically you can prepare yourself for this. What is the research? What I am thinking? What is the yes? Yes, please. Any question?
Now it is fine, sir. Now it is fine.
Okay.
No, sir. Now it is fine. Actually, your voice is breaking.
It's clear now?
Now it is fine, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's clear, sir. Please.
Now, what is the research? What is the research? If you talk about this, what I'm thinking about that, this is my view, and this is implemented in this. What is the difference between the homework problem and the research problem? Why I'm talking about the homework problems? What type of work we are doing in your home? If there is some problem occurs, suppose there is some electricity problem occur in my house. If I know all these things, because I know all these things, I know the electrical work, I have done some electrical work, I have electric fitting, I know very well, I done the electric fitting in the different places also there, I know that things, and I know what type of electric fitting is there in my house. If some problem is there, sometime everybody knows you to check the fuse and all these things, check the other things, check the meter and all these things, because you know where is the meter, where is the fuses are there, so you can check it. If you are having a problem as a plumber in your house, sometime this one tab is not working properly, then you are able to solve it, because you know something, you know the problems, because problem is there, problem is the front in your front, and you know the background, and you know the idea to solve it. So this is the homework problem, and we can take the challenge and to solve this problem also. This research problem is also the same problem. If you know the background, if you know all these things, if you know the current situations, if you know the future applications and all these things, then similarly we can do in the research. Only we have to fear about that. Nothing. Both are the same. Both are the same. Probably there is no difference except for your fear. So if you are working in your home completely without asking to anybody and going to able to solve the problem, that is the good enough. Okay. So day-to-day life, in daily life, you are having a number of problems in your home. Your home problem is a fighting between the husband and wife. There is one problem. Are you able to solve it? Yes, because you know the previous history, you know the consequences after that. So that according to that, we have to solve that. Your mind is working on that. What are the consequences in the futures, and what are the previous background is there. So this research is there is no difference. There is no difference except for your fear. So this is in my opinion, this homework problem and the research problem, there is no difference. You know, research is nothing but a homework. You know, this is what finding a good problems in your homework. You are finding a good problem to solve it. You have to design, you have to implement, so that how to create the interior of that your home, how to create the design of that particular this particular room, how to set the kitchen, and how to say all these things are the problem. You have to finding out a good problem, and then you can solve it. And if you are able to find out the problems, you can part of the research too. If you are able to find how to find out, if you know the history, if you know the solutions, if you know the situation of that, so that you are able to create the problems. You have to create the problems. You have to find out the problems in your house. If you are able to problem, that is a part of the research. Means after doing a lot of literature survey, you are able to find out the problems. You cannot find the problems in the research easily. You have to learn something, but in your house, you already know all these things in the advance. Because in your house, you are living there from last 10 years, 20 years or 30 years. So that each and every process is gone through in your eyes. Okay, so the research is nothing but an homework. To find a good problem to study is a part of research too. If research is about the pushing the limit, research is nothing but we have to push the limits. Limits is what? Dismiss the problem if the solution is not interesting enough. No, don't dismiss the problem if the solution is not interesting enough. We have to find out another solution for that. What's the best solution for that? We have to optimize it. We have to create. We have to correlate with the others, right? So this is what dismiss the problem if the solution is not interesting enough. Research is about the pushing the limit. Okay, so this is what this. So my dear friends, research is a game for which you get to set the rule, but it cannot be trivial one. Just like a game, you are playing the game on the computers and all these things. Some of the functions are predefined. It's created by the programmer, it's created by the researcher, it's created by something else. But research is a one type of game which you can get to set the rules. You have to set the rules. You have to define the keys. We have to define all the points from where we can move. That is the important. So this is the research. So research is a game for which you get to set the rules. Now, what is the research step? This is normally if you talk about something is a face-to-face situations. I was asking some questions. What is the research? Somebody is saying what? Somebody is saying what? The searching. What? Re and search. Don't this definition, this spell, you can spell out this re and search. If you classify it, re and search, this is not research, right? How to do the research? There is multiple re's are there, not only one re. This one re is, this is my experience. I am going to see that this is a read. You have to read number of articles and not read in a one time. You have to read again and again. Can you read an article? Can you understand the article in a one read? Of the article written by one expert in the past, in the last, this is 10 years back or 5 years back or something else? It is not possible in a one read. So you have to read your article. You have to read the number of articles, number of time in the different perspective. If the perspective is the mathematical, sometimes you can see that if there is some mathematical equations are there, the researcher will get something different work, that is, we cannot do that, and something. You have to read carefully step by step. You have to read carefully one by one. There's a lot of websites are there, like Sightseer. Sightseer is having a very good connection of what the citations of the papers. You can go backward, we can go forward citations, we can catch it. Because for writing the papers, we have to read this back papers of related back papers on related front papers, find out one papers and take all the citation till 2020 and the background till whatever you can get it. Okay, there is a one site is Sightseer, CITESWR. CITESWR site is there. It's a lot of sites are there. They are giving now the background citation and the foreground citations. You have to read one by one, and this rereading is required. Rereading is required in a one stroke. We cannot read, and after read, we have to write it. Write it your own words. After each read, you have to write in your own words. Right? This is very important. And you can see that after each read, your document will be changed. Because after each reading, you will understand more. You will understand more. And there is a very important thing. If you're writing in your own words, that written document is very important to create your paper and the thesis and all these things, and without plagiarisms, because it's written by your own words. And after each writing, after each reading, start writing now. It should be in your habit. It should be in your habit. Make a copy of that. Make a copy of that when you start reading, and note down this. What are the main points are there? What is the crux of their papers? And what type of methodology I used, and what are the threads are there? We can easily identify it. Okay. So after each read, you have to rewrite it. So reread and rewrite. There are two re's are there. If you are able to read completely, if you are able to write completely, that's very good. There is no plagiarism. There is no need of thinking about the plagiarism, because it's your own words, right? Now, if you start the writing, then thinking automatically comes. That is very important. Our elders says that what is to when I was in the third and second and fourth class, then my elder told me that start writing. Start writing means to learn with writing. Okay, so that you can learn more. So that now what I experience on that, my father said me like this. So what I experience in that writing, during writing, when you start writing, your mind automatically goes start thinking. Okay, you know, that is, I'll give them an example. When you write a letter to your friend, when you write your letter to your parents, when you write a letter to your spouse, there is nothing in the mind. But when you start the writing, you can write 2 or 3 pages. You know why? During write, your mind is thinking. Your mind is thinking about that topic. Where you're writing here, your mind is thinking about the topic and what you have read already in the past. Okay, so and then compare it and then convert, so that in between thinking you can create some module, you can create some new research, you can create something, you can create some solution for that. So this is the process. You have to reread, you have to rewrite, you have to rethink, and after thinking, there is a very important that is a discussion. Discussion is very important. Now I have seen 2 or 3 examples that he or she said me that, sir, if I discuss in the front of others, they will get my logic and all these things. Forget about this. Nobody will get your logic and all these things, because before discussions, you have read a lot of things, you have written some things, you are thinking some things, and you have implemented. Now you are going to discuss. So they are not having their background and all these things. If they have the logic, but they cannot write anything, they cannot implement it, they cannot do it, because they are not having their documents what you have created. So you have to discussion is very important. So that Dr. Nilanjan is organizing a lot of conference, giving the opportunity to discuss in the front of experts. So this Dr. Nilanjan is creating the very, very, very good conferences, right? So this, you are having the opportunity to go there, to join there and discuss your problems, your solutions with the others. Now that is very important. I'll give them one example. I had discussed my first, I was working on a secure multi-party computation in 2004. I started this from the 2000, and 2004 I discussed my problem with one of the students when I was teaching the data mining. Then I discussed with one of my class, section A, and I float my problem. This is my problems, how I can solve it. You have to think about that. The students, one of the students has given me the logic. Sir, can we do like this? Can we do like this, so that we can discuss? And we have created one mathematical modeling of that particular problems. And that he is right now, he is the research scholar. He is the research associate in the IIT Delhi. You know, the students are having a lot of mind, lot of thinking capabilities. You have to float in the front of the students, so that students can the benefit, and we will also get the benefit. So discussion is very important. you can discuss with your students, you can discuss your spouse, you can discuss your son and daughters, and you can discuss your parents, you can discuss your seniors, you can discuss your colleagues. Okay, this is very important, very important. Discussion is very important in the computer science. Even if you are doing the practical work, if you are doing any experiments, then discussion is very important. Either you are the students or the faculty, or you are the research scholars. So discussion, a lot of forums are available. A lot of forums are available. We get to discuss. So these are the rediscussion is required. And after discussion, again, you will get a threat. If you go to discuss your PhD guide or research guide, definitely guide will say, no, you cannot do that. You can go in these sites. Again, you are feeling something like different, and you will again go to the read. So this is what the read, rewrite, rethink, rediscussion is going place. Okay. So this is the process of what research step, in my opinion. If you'll do like this, if you are agree with this, you can do that, and you can go with the better research and better documents you can create on that. So this is what I am thinking about that. And if you talk about what's the engineering research, you know, engineering is about the optimization, but engineering research is not. Engineering research is not. Research is to find the limits and better way for the optimization. You know, the research is to find the limits and the better way for the optimizations. I'm taking water for the 1 minute, please. Engineering is about the optimization, but engineering research is not. Research is to find the limits and the better way for the optimization. This is what engineering is about, the invention, but engineering research is not. The research is to explain why an invention works. That is very important. Engineering is about the invention, but engineering research is not. Research is to explain why an invention works. It's the point. I think it's clear to you. So this is engineering research is not a science or not an empirical science, right? Engineering research, it close to the applied maths and the applied science. It's close to this. So you know the mathematics, you know the physics, you know the other things, all the subject. That's why in the engineering, physics, chemistry is the part of the curriculum. So that applied mathematics is a part of the curriculum, applied physics is a part of the curriculum, and right, even chemistry, even the environment also is very important to do the research, engineering research, right? So engineering is not a science, an empirical science. It's close to the applied maths and the applied science. Okay. So a good engineer need not to be a good researcher. A good engineer need not to be a good researcher. A good researcher need not be a good engineer. Okay. That is a fact. Right. So if you talk about the different level of research, we talk about this, at what level I am now. So this is what level 1. Level 1 is the research assistant. If you know, I have met other different persons, and if they know the Boolean, I am working on the NS2, I know the Python, I know these research tools. Even they are feeling what they are very good in the research, but that is a research level 1. That is the research assistant. We require some research assistant in the good institutions. Research assistants, they are good in the practicals, they are good in the tools and all these things. So learn the drill. The level 1 is learn the drill. We have to learn the tool and all these things, right? So that is the level 1. We have to learn all these tools. Level 2, in the level 1, you can learn how to implement it, right? How to simulate it in the case of level 1. What type of simulation softwares are there? You have to learn that software. That is the level 1. You start doing that, right? And you should have the knowledge, core subject knowledge. If you have the core subject knowledge and you are able to do, you are able to do all these softwares, you are able to do all these levels, all these softwares, you have the simulation softwares, optimization softwares. There are a lot of softwares available. You have to learn according to your interest of the subject. If you talk about the level 2, is a homework like research. Homework like research. In your home, you are finding the problems and you are going to solve it. Your own problems, you are going to solve it. It will create the confidence. A homework like that, it will build your confidence, right? You can build your confidence that you can do something. To find out the small problems, find out the small problems, and then solve it, right? Find out the small problems what we have. Don't miss it. Don't say that this is a very small problem, what I can do for that. I want to do something big problems. Forget about that. Start with the small problems. That is a homework like research. Day to day, what's the problem in this step? I have read these papers. I think something is doubt in this paper. Then take this opportunity and solve it. Okay, maybe it's very small or big. Forget about that. So that will build your confidence. Okay, that you can do something. You are doing something small. Right in the examination also. And when you are going to appear in the examination, my father told me that to solve first the small questions, to solve first the easy questions, and wait for the hard question will solve in the last. If you start the hard problem in the beginning, it may be possible it's not able to solve it, so we depress it, so that we cannot able to solve even in the small problems. So start liking a small problem in the research. Okay, so it will build your confidence, right? That is a level 2. If you are in the level 3, formulating your own problem and solve it. Big problem. You have to find out your own problem. You have to formulate it. Okay, you have to formulate a big problem and then solve it. You have to solve by step by step. And front of them, then discuss with your colleagues, then discuss your guide, then discuss with the research guide, research supervisors, and discuss with the other friends and students and all these things. Then formulating your problem and trying to solve it. It will create the exercise your creativity. It will exercise your creativity. You are finding the problem and solution, finding the problem and solution, finding the problem. Don't wait for the good problem. Don't wait for the big problem. Okay. So, and if you talk about the level 4, formulating problems for others. Formulating problems for others to solve it. If you are able to do that, if you are formulating the problems for others to solve it, if you are doing that, it will be realize your vision. So these are what now, if so many PhD guides are there, so many PhD scholars are in this forum, and they are going to complete their PhD, they are able to realize their vision of that particular topic. So they are in the level 4, and some of in the level 3, some of in the level 2, some of the level 1. We have to identify at what level we are here now, and we have to jump to the next level. This is my experience I am saying you, and this is what knowing about to do is more important than knowing how. If knowing how is possible, when you do all this exercise, you know, if you're going to discuss, then they know the things, but they don't know how these problems will come and how you are getting the solutions. So forget about that. Discuss all these things at each level to your friends and share more to the others. You will know knowing what to do is more important than knowing how, right? So this is my dear friend. What is the good research? The good research is the novelty. Novelty is, you can see the novelty is better if you are not able to publish it first. Suppose I have created one paper, it's a novelty is there. I have submitted to the Nilanjan Day conference and journals. They are having very quality journals, no doubt. They are having very quality journals. They are having, he is conducting very quality conferences. He is having very good international connects. So I am submitting this paper. Maybe possible that paper is not able to publish it. Maybe possible Nilanjan team will reject my paper. What is the important that what type of review is received from them? That is a very important. your novelty is there, and you will get some type of new that is feedback from the scholars, that is some experts from international level. So submit your paper, novelty, you have to write something, you have to submit your guide, you have to submit your research forum, maybe possible. They refuse to publish it. No doubt, ask them to give my review. That review is very important. After that, you can create, you can again put a one thought, you can again read something and improve your work. Forget about, don't say that there's a one stroke, this should be published. Simplicity. Better if your advisor refused to grant you a degree. You know, that is very tough. That is very tough. Better your advisor refused to grant a degree. You know, when I start my research, my guide is given me the 0 marks out of 10. I was depressed, right? That time. But you have to very simply set what I can do better here. How we can proceed, because that is what to my beginning point. How we can proceed. He has given me some guidelines. He has given me something, and after that, he is not now no more in the world, but he's passed away. But he told me at the last that you are good and you can do something like this. What the things, on the basis of the guide, what the guide is saying, you have to follow the guide. You have to be very simplicity. You have to follow. You have to put your questions, your suggestion in a very simple way, right? Because we have to discuss, we have to get the knowledge from them. The better if your advisor refuses to grant your degree, you have to start your work. You have to put some your efforts. Don't depress. Universality is what better if others found it travel at the first sights. Definitely, host maybe possible. Other will say this is not a good, all these things. But you have done some universally acceptable things. You have to work on that. But forget about the others. Put in the other group. Discuss with the other groups. Put in the other conferences for the discussions. Put in the other research forum, so that you will get it. Okay. You recognize a great research result if it keeps up all night, feeling like a first date. You know, if it's a passion, if it's you like feeling like your first date, definitely research will be remarkable. Okay, because we have to prepare from your mind. If you prepare from your mind, you can do all these things. Novelty, simplicity, universality is there, yeah, and this you have feeling like that. I'll not talk about the wrong warning, this bogus research and this, but I will give some points. I remove most of the points here. This prove by the successful instance. Successful instance is not good. Compound and conquer. You can this can result too complicated, but not to reproduce it. That is again the bogus results. It should be useful for the society. It should be able to what the research is able to implement. You have to criticize this, okay? So such results will not stand the test of time, okay? So how to do the research myths? The myths are there. This think research is only for the genius is not good. Think is research is not only for the genius, not only for the toppers, not only for all these things. Everybody can do the research. Anybody can do that. Only have the mindset for that, thinking mindset. Think yourself as a genius. Everybody is thinking when you are studying the research, publishing your papers. I published one of my paper in the Judge conferences and all these things. And in the entire college, I am moving like this. Yes, I have published one research and all these things. Don't think yourself as a genius. Okay, it's research is not the research. There is no end of the research. What I told you, start research from the beginning till the end of life. You can do the research, and in between, a lot of milestones are there. One of the milestones, we can say that the PhD will come out. PhD will come out automatically. You cannot say that when the PhD will come out. Start the research, and okay, think you need to know everything about the subject in advance. How I can say that I'm working on the security and all these things? I am not expert. Nilanjan Day is working on that. His topic, he cannot is expert in the security, in the privacy, maybe possible he's expert in the other phase, right? So nobody, the research, I have seen the simplicity of the Nilanjan Day also. He's very simple and very cool and explain everything. So we have to work on that like this. The thing, you need to know everything about the subject in the advance. Think you should wait for the most important problem to work on it. There's a most important problem. That is what we are thinking about, that this is not a good problem. This is not a good problem. I'm a good researcher. I'm working so good. So this is a very small problem. Forget about that. If you are having the problem, solve it. Solve it. Give the solution for that. Think a solution is correct. Always why we are thinking about the solution, because I'm working on the security and privacy, I can give the correct results, but not think a solution is correct just because you cannot find anything wrong on that. Just think a solution is correct just because you cannot find anything wrong, right? So how to do the research? How to do the research? That is what, be both confident and humble, right? Be both critical and collaborative, right? We have to be confident and we have to be humble, so you can do the research. Be both critical and collaborative. Definitely we have to discuss on that. Collaborative means we have to work together. We have to work together. I request to the Nilanjan, please create a research group, and you are having very good knowledge. We will work together, and so we will get a big group for the research. Be both ambitious and the realistic. Definitely we have to be ambitious about to do the research, but you have to do some realistic. We have to do work on that. We have to find out the solution for that. We have to do the mathematical modeling. We have to do the probabilistic modeling. We have to do the simulation and all this thing in the realistic way and find out the exact results. Yeah, I'm ambitious, but I'm not able to realistic. Then what's the meaning? So we have to both ambitious about do the research as well as the realistic. You have to do that. Be proactive and willing to take a chance, right? Any problem we can feel that we are in the research group. Be proactive. Proactive means you have to be take a chance to solve the problems. If any problems are there, you have to immediately think, start, sir, can this is the result is the good is for that? Can you do like this, right? Any problems you have, don't wait for the big problem and all these things. Take a chance. If chance is there, you have to acquire that. The only way you can improve yourself is to learn things that you are most afraid of, right? The only way you can improve yourself. You can improve yourself only if you are having a fear of that, you are having afraid of that, most afraid of that. You have to do one day, right? Then why not from today? The only way you can improve yourself is to learn things that you are the most afraid of. Forget about the mathematics and all these things. You are afraid of the mathematics. Start learning mathematics today from the beginning. Definitely you will solve step by step. You will solve that problem in the coming days. Okay. So don't leave it. Don't put it in one side. Start, take a challenge on that. Okay. So this is what, how to do the research. How does doing research feel like? Now, this is the endless cycles. How much time I have, sir? What's the time limit? Shakti?
Sir, you are having 10 minutes more.
Okay, right. I will complete in my 10 minutes. Okay. How does doing research feel like? This is an endless cycle between the excitement and the depressions. Most of the time you are excited because of your work and all these things you have done, the new innovation and all these things. But most of the time when you go to a discussion, when you go for the discussion, discuss with the group, discuss with the research forum, they will say what this problem can be solved by this, why you are working on that, this is not the right way for do this. Then you will feel the depression. Your supervisor will say what this is not the good way of this right? This is an endless cycle between the sense of success and failure. This is an sense of success and failure. Different number of times you will get the failure, and success is very, very, very little. Okay. So this is an endless cycle. Now you can get the failure. You can again go to the read discussion, then again you will get the success. Okay. This is an endless cycle between the sense of success and the failure. Endless cycle between the overconfidence and the self-doubt. You know, every time you're confident, more confident, overconfident, and the self-doubt, and then answer is there. And then research need faith. And there are always interesting new things you have to discover. And by doing so, you can make the world a better place. This is what will feel like this. Okay. So if you talk about the innovation, that innovation is not an artistic creativity. It is not an invention. It is not the bright idea. And this is scientific discovery, not problem solving, but a simple innovation viewed as the application of better solutions that meet new requirements, unarticulated needs, or existing market needs. Okay. This innovation is the process followed to obtain something new that solve a specific problems and can be utilized. That is very important. That is, if you talk about I work on these secure multi-party computations, there are two models are there. One by one I'll discuss about that, the ideal model and the real model. This secure multi-party computation is what if more than one organizations are working together and they want to compute jointly on the particular data. So how we can protect to each others, how we can secure your data. This is, we are using one ideal model is a third party model, that is a TTP. Always we are trusting on a third party. We are submitting your paper in the conference organizer. We are trusting on that. He will review it and then we will give the chance to present there. And this WHO is the third party. From every country, they are taking the data and analyze it and then giving the result. And every country will know from the results what's the next step we have to take care of that. So we are trusting on the WHO. We are trusting on the banking or trusting on the RBI and all these things. So this is a third party model. And there is a real model is participating party themselves agree to some protocol to compute the common functions without the presence of any third party. So these are the two models are there for this secure multi-party computation topic is there. This is what the ideal model where the third party is involved. The party 1 and party 2 is giving to the data, and if this function is declared the result, WHO is declared the result on the basis of these functions, and the result is announced to the party 1 and party 2, right? But in the case of real model, there is no third party. There is a party 1 and party 2, and they are having one input x1 and x2. They are having some common protocol, and the output is created by itself, party and itself. Okay, so this is what I am going to this this one secure sum protocol is there, is by Clifton, is in 2000 is given. This protocol initiator, these are the four parties are there, P0, P1, P2 and P3. They want to compute is a sum. They are having some values. There's a P0 is having 10, P1 is having 8, 7 and 15. We want to compute is a secure sum. Don't want to disclose the value of each other's. P1 don't want to disclose 8 to P3 as a 15. Okay, so what we can do, that is a very simple way this present this. What P0 is the initiator of the protocol. There is no third party is there. What P0 will do, this P0 will not to disclose his value. So it's create one random number R5 and add this random number to his value, then 15, and 15 transfer to the P1. P1 doesn't know the value, exact value of P0. What P1 will do, P1 will add this at this value 8 in this 15 and transfer to the P3, P2, and P2 doesn't know the exact value of P1 and P0, and it will add again this and transfer to the 15, transfer to the P3, and P3 will add this value, and result will 45 will come to the protocol initiator. And what the protocol initiator even doesn't know the value of P1, P2, P3, and done the computations, and then total get the sum is 45. And what P0 knows only the random number, it remove the random number and disclose the result, so that we'll get what total sum of this secure sum, secure average. There are so many methods are there in the secure multi-party computation, but there is a lot of what I have told you. Step by step you have to go that. Then suppose this protocol, what the protocol is, there is a problem, that maybe the problem is there, P0 and P3, it jointly become the malicious jointly, then what, they will get the value of P2. So that what we can do that, so that there is a one model. The similar way, this is what the Yahoo millionaire problem is there. You can see in the 1982, he's given the good problem, who is the richer without disclosing the wealth of each one. So this is Yahoo is giving the solution for that. You can this one of my students are also done a lot of work on that, and the research is available on the IEEE and other places. So that we can create a new one. This is a TTP. This party 1, party 2, party 3 is giving the value to the TTP, and dangerous if TTP will loses the trust when it computes the result and provide the input. So step by step, maybe possible the TTP is not trusted. So how we can, because P1, P2, P3 directly transfer the data to the TTP. There's a WHO, there's a China, India, and something giving the data to the TTP. But what's the work of the TTP? The TTP work is to compute something. Not able to identify from where the data comes. It's compute and then give the results. Okay, on the basis of the values, on the basis of the data. So what we can do, we can put one anonymizer on that. This anonymizer is there. This anonymizer layer is there. We have to, your mind is thinking like this. Okay, so that is step by step you have to solve it. This P1, P2 instead of, and now the third party doesn't know from where the data comes. But this anonymizer, if all the anonymizer become the malicious, or 2 or 3 anonymizer can become the malicious, they can identify from the where the data comes, so that we can put in a different way. We can transfer not the entire data, because in the previous case the entire data is there, but in this case we can say that these packets are transferred to the A1, A2, A3. So A1 is not having the entire data, A2 is not having the entire data. So there is no need of what if A1 will disclose, that is a meaningless. Similarly, we can do that instead of having one third party, we can take a multiple third party. We can perform the computation from the multiple third party. Maybe possible third party is not trusted. It's trusted, but we have to think about that. So there's an n number of T third party will compute the data. Okay, so that at the time of the result declarations, any one randomly we can select it and announce the results. So that if one of the TTP is not malicious, so that we can remove from that. For removing that, we can take the another equivalence classes concept, so that if one of the TTP is not performing the malicious conduct, we can remove from the system, so that your system will become more secure, more private, right? This is what my but thinking about that, another discussions, one of the discussion they thought about that is a too complex system, so that we can convert into, we have to remove the complexity. Not the complexity are removed, that party 1, party 2, party 3, party n will transfer the encrypted data to the TTP. There is no complexity here. But TTP will compute the encrypted data and announce the result. What the party will do, party will decrypt the result and get the original result. So this is a lot of work is going on that. I have generated one protocol on that, and it's available in the IEEE and other forums. So there is a lot of work. If somebody is want to work on that, I am available with them. Okay, they can contact me. So thanks for that. If any questions you can ask or you can discuss. Otherwise, we can finish it.
Thank you so much, sir, for your lovely presentation. It's very, very informative. I'm sure that the people sitting over here in this web forum, they have enjoyed a lot. And it's now open to the forum for question answer session. We will not take much questions because we are having a running short of time.
Thank you, Professor.
But it is, yeah, thank you so much. It's a great honor and great means a day for us that you have given your precious time to us in JIS University. As soon as the pandemic part will be over, and definitely I'll invite you to the university. Please visit our university. I'll sure that definitely you'll love to watch Kolkata as well as our JIS University.
Thank you.
So with this, I'm coming to an end of the session. It's open for question answering session for all the forums. If any particular person having any questions, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to ask in the chat box. We are also in the Facebook Live. 22K viewers are watching this particular live show, and we are also following this Facebook page also. So if you are having any kind of question, please put in the chat box or in the Facebook Live page. Thank you so much. So it's open to the forum. Any particular question from anyone, please?
Thank you, Sumulia Chaudhary. Thank you very much, sir. It was very beneficial to me. Okay, thank you, Chaudhary.
I would like to invite all the participants, please open your webcam so that we can take a screenshot of this particular session.
Okay.
So it's a great day for us. Please open your webcam, all of you. Thank you. We are having a lot of participants from all over the India, as well as from Kolkata, West Bengal. It's a great session for us and great session for all. Thank you so much for keeping your patience high. And many of them are
How many?
also in the
Can I
Facebook Live.
ask? Can I ask a question? How many of your CSI members? Some of the CSI members are there. Computer Society of India.
Anybody have any CSI membership? Please write it down. Why in the chat box?
Okay,
Why
yeah, Dr. Saket, you are the CSI member. Okay,
yes,
right,
sir, yes.
Right. Thank you. Because now this right, I am saying you this. I am a contestant for this vice president for this time. So I'll request your support.
Yes, definitely, sir.
Right.
Definitely, because I'm associated with you from CSI Big 2011.
Right.
I hope you
Saket,
can understand.
Yes, I remember your face. Right.
Yes.
So
So it's you are very very popular in Durgapur also. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Many of our students or faculty members, they are having a good connection with you.
Right.
I'm sure, definitely, sir. Our faculty community, our student fraternity, definitely they will support you in this particular part.
Right.
And my best wishes, our best wishes is always there for you for this particular presidentship election. I'm sure definitely we will get you, we will give our support to you, sir.
Right. We will do a lot in the future also.
Right, sir. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please open your webcam. All of you, I'm requesting once again, please open your webcam so that we can take a snapshot of this particular event. Page 1 is full. All of you have already opened your webcam. Page 2, some of them are full, some of them have still not opened the webcam. It is my earnest request to all of you, please open your webcam. Thank you. So with this, we are coming to an end of this lovely session from Professor Durgesh Misra. So it's a time for felicitation. Sir, this is a very small token of love from JIS University to you.
Thank you.
In this pandemic situation. I hope in the coming days, we will get more support from you as well as your different members from the CSI, from your organization. We are really looking forward for it. And we are also looking forward for any kind of collaboration work, on any collaborative work with you. It's a great pleasure for us.
Thank you.
So with this, ladies and gentlemen,
please send me this certificate through email.
Sure,
okay?
Sure,
Right.
So now the participants they are waiting for this particular feedback session. It's not a feedback session. It's a very small token of appreciation from JIS University. So I'm sharing this link to you so that you will get a certificate instantly in your mail after filling up this particular small Google form. So I'm sharing this in the chat box. Please have a look. I'm sharing this in the chat box. Please have a look. Here I'm sending. please copy it and click it, fill it up right now. Instantly, you will get your certificate at your mail address. But keep that in your mind that do not write any unnecessary email address. It will not deliver to your mail. So whenever you are writing your email address, please be careful. Okay. So with this, we are coming to an end of this particular lovely session. That was Professor Durgesh Mishra from Professor and Director of Microsoft Innovation Center, Sri Aurobindo Institute of Technology, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for keeping your patience high. In the coming of days, more conferences are coming out, more workshops are coming out in the couple of days. 22nd, we are having one more event. Please be with us. Please like our Facebook page, like, comment, and share. All the updates will come in our JIS University Facebook page. Please follow that one. 22nd, we are having a mega event of an international conference where we are having the galaxy of speakers on that particular day. So it is my earnest request to you, please attend that session. It will be a mind-blowing and very thrilling for you all. So with this, it is a time for vote of thanks. So I'd like to thank our entire JIS group management for giving us this opportunity, starting from our MD sir, our group of directors, as well as our Honorable VC sir, Honorable Pro VC sir, Dean sir, Director sir, Controller ma'am, and all the HODs, all the faculty members of CAC and the other departments associated with the JIS University, along with all the participants. I thank you all of you. So with this, we are closing this session, but I have already given you the feedback link in the this particular chat box. Please click on that. Instantly, you will get the certificate. Okay.
So Sonali
we'll-
Bhattacharya is also the CSI member. Thanks,
Yeah.
Sonali. Thank you for that. Right.
I
Thank
would
you,
like to
Sonali.
invite, I'd like to invite Dr. Nilanjan Dey to say a few words for this particular.
Thank you very much,
event.
Durgesh sir, for this very informative and motivational talk. I know you, I think, almost 6-7 years now.
More than that.
More than that might be. So, sir is not only associated as a Microsoft Innovation Center director, but starting from the very beginning, he was associated with ACM chapters in Udaipur and MP also. Then apart from ACM in IEEE, Mumbai and MP section, he was associated in CSC chapter society, I think, Computer Society. And lastly, CSI, I mean, he is for a long time in CSI. So it's a great pleasure to meet you, sir. And it's very informative. I think many of the people who are today attending the session will be highly motivated by your session. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Right. Thank you for giving me a chance in the front of this excellent, knowledgeable persons. And
last but not the least, I want to thank Professor Maji sir. He was actually from the very beginning was with this whole program.
Right.
So thanks for your support, sir.
Right.
So he's always there. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot from my side.
Thank you to all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dey. So with this, we are coming to an end of this particular day workshop. Many more yet to come. On 22nd, we are having one more event. So I have already shared that link in the Facebook page of JIS University. Please register yourself so that you can attend that particular session on 22nd, where the galaxy of speakers are really coming to enlighten us. Okay.
Thank
so
you.
With this, we are coming to an end of this particular workshop. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time to us. Thank you, Durgesh sir.
Thank you.
And I would like all of you, wish you all the best, and do take care of yourself, and enjoy the rest of the coming 25th, and 1st January is also coming. So happy Christmas and happy New Year to all of you in advance. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye to all.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nila. I have seen that you are in the Jaipur right now. Okay, in the 2 days back. Yeah. I see in the Facebook your comments. Okay, thank you. Actually, I was busy in my family in one of the marriage. My nephew marriage was there in the 11th. So I got the message from Amit, but maybe possible I miss.
We might be meeting in Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
You are muted.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll meet in Ahmedabad, sir.
Right. Thank you. Then we'll
Thank you.
definitely.
Bye,
definitely.
sir.
Okay, sir. Bye-bye, sir. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye to all of you.
Bye.
Bye. You all.